Hey, good morning. Wednesday morning. Cheers. I loaded up my video this morning, and from the early comments, there's a lot of guys got fired up over that one. Yeah, there's a lot of unhappy people out there. Um, with the state of the economy and what's going on. So yeah, hopefully some change will happen soon, because this ain't working, man. But anyway, I'm not gonna get political on this channel. I just refuse to. So, I've got a ton of stuff to do. There's some block sanding. I've got to get back on that exhaust and get that done. A few other things there. So there's plenty to do, and might as well just get to it, man. Okay, so I'll show you where I'm at on this exhaust. So, see, it comes down there, and then hoist is kind of in the way, but it's running fairly parallel. Then it dips under the transmission cross member and just past it. So now I just have to go straight back to my muffler, and I'm good to go. This has been just tacked together for now. I'm going to pull it all out. I'll get it all tacked together, pull it all out in one piece, and do all the finishing welding on the bench. So yeah, then I got to put in a couple of hangers, and we'll probably hang one around this area here, and we'll put another hanger off this back cross member here. So not bad. See what she looks like from. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want. Then we'll just extend that one out the same way. Line up, make sure our mufflers are the same, line up together. They're side by side, not don't want them a staggered look of looking funky or anything. And yeah, we should have it dialed up. So there we go. Okay, so I'm prepping a muffler to fit onto the pipe that's already on the truck. Now, this pipe here, you can see this piece is slid inside of this bigger outer one, but it's only in there about 1/4 of an inch. So these two pipes here are the exact same size. So if I was to cut this off, I should be able to slide this into the pipe and then weld them together. I'll trim this off a bit, butt this up to the outer pipe, and it should weld and look pretty much flush when it's all done. So I think that'll be pretty slick. And then we got to just figure out how long of a pipe I need in here. This stuff here fits in there pretty snug. So, hopefully I only need like that much, but we'll see once I get this in. And it'll be a ton easier to fit the muffler onto the truck with the frame down on the ground. So I'm gonna drop it down. I'm gonna have to move some things around. The bike is under the hoist. I don't want to crush it, so we'll have to move that, move a few things around, get the chassis down on the ground, and then we can fit the muffler up. So that's where I am on that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut and fit and tack things in place, and we'll get ready to fit it up and see how she looks. Okay, so this is ready to fit in place. Trim this off a little bit so it should slide into the pipe that's on the truck right up to there, and then we'll weld it flush, and we'll set our muffler on. But before I put it into place, like I said, I'm going to drop the frame down on the ground, and yeah, put the stuff together and start tacking it all. So but I've been asked by a few guys now to do a story time. I haven't done one for a while, so yeah, maybe we'll do story time. Hey boys and girls, welcome to story time. This story is how Dirty Dan got into building hot rods. Well, for that you got to go back to 1955. My dad was 16 at the time. He was running a chopped and channeled 32 Ford 5-window coupe. You know, hopped up flathead with, you know, 3 Strombergs on it. Cool looking little car. After that, he moved up to a 47 Ford Deluxe Coupe with, I believe it was a Cadillac engine. Apparently it was the king, fastest in town for summer of '57. And then he opened up a little motorcycle shop, fixing Harleys and stuff. And eventually, you know, he married my mom. They had me, and old dad had to get a haircut and get a real job. So, so fast forward to 1974. So I'm 12, going on 13. You know, up until that point, we only had one TV channel up here, CBC. That was it. So, you know, the only TV I ever watched was Sunday night. It was Walt Disney, followed by Bonanza and the Ed Sullivan Show. That's it. Never watched any other TV, and didn't really give a shit, to be honest with you. But you know, we got CTV, another Canadian network, early 70s, and then shortly after that we got Global. And Global carried an American feed, and they had, I think it was NBC's Movie of the Week. So we're all sitting in the living room, the family, and, you know, up comes the Movie of the Week. And in that movie was a car. And it was what I thought the coolest thing I'd ever seen. It was a chopped 34 Ford 3-window coupe, black with flames. That's right, the California kid. And I went absolutely nuts for this thing. Like, I thought it was just awesome, man. I'd never seen anything like it. I thought it was just fantastic. So I didn't even know what it was. My dad knew, but I didn't know. He told me. Anyway, like I said, I wouldn't shut up about this stupid car. And the next day, I think I went out and I bought a Rod and Custom magazine and Street Rodder too, I think. And you know, I'm going through the magazines and I'm into this stuff. And so a few days later, Dad comes home from work and he says, you know the car that was in that movie the other night? I said, yeah. He says, I know where there is one. I said, yeah, right. He goes, no, I know where there is one. He said, listen, if you're really that into it, he said, we'll go see if the guy will sell a car. You buy the car and I'll help you build it. We'll a little hot rod out of it. So I'm like, yeah, you know, full of youthful enthusiasm. So anyway, he said, how much money you got? I said, well, I've got $50 saved. You know, I got $1 a week for my allowance, so $50 is pretty good, I thought. Anyway, he shook his head like very disappointed. Like, where was I supposed to get the money? I don't know. But anyway, he says, well, Saturday, he says, I lined up a trailer from a buddy, and we'll head over there and see if we can buy the car. He's a Finlander, though. He doesn't like to sell stuff, so there's no guarantees here. Okay. So Saturday morning comes along. I grab my money, got it in my pocket. We're in the truck. We head off to this old Finlander's place and pull in the yard, and sure enough, there it is. 34 3-window coupe, all original and all complete. Headlights, cowl lights, you even had the Greyhound rad cap ornament, you know. Glass was all in it and everything else. I mean, it was cracked and stuff, and the car was rusty. I mean, the bottom 6 inches all the way around was pretty much gone, but it was all there, and it was cool looking, man. So we get out of the truck, and right away I get attacked by a goose. This guy had this vicious goose, a big sucker too, and he just put his neck, you know, straight out at you, put his head down and charge you. So my dad and the old Finlander are talking, and this goose is chasing me all over the yard, and I'm trying to get the hell away from it. Finally, the Finlander throws it in a cage or whatever, fenced off area. So I'm looking at the car and I'm checking it out. I'm just drooling over this thing. So the old Finlander comes up and he says, so you want to buy this car and fix it up, do you? I said, oh, yes, sir. It's a beautiful car. He said, well, I'm not too sure I want to sell it. I said, well, if you were going to sell it, how much would you want for it? He said, how much you got? said, I have $50, sir. He said, that's exactly what I was going to ask for. You know, I thought I'd struck a great deal here. I'm pretty sure my dad had something to do with it. But anyway, hand him the $50, and he signs over the ownership and hands me the title. So we load her up, take her home. We didn't even have a garage to work in it yet. The garage was basically a carport. It was on jack posts, no slab, no insulation, no heat, no nothing. So we spent the whole summer doing that, building the garage, getting that dialed in. Finally started taking the car apart and stripping it and stuff in the winter. And, you know, I was getting to that age, 14, and then, you know, 15, and still working away in this thing. And then, you know, I got my driver's license, and boom, gone. You know, chasing girls, cruising around with my buddies. But the old man got into it in overdrive. He had 32s and 34s is what he was into, and he had a bunch of them. So, so he built rods for 15 years. So then he got out of it because the work was too heavy. So fast forward again to about 2005. So I'm building Harleys as a hobby, and I had 14 of them in my garage. And my dad was also building bikes. That's what he considered scaling down. So we got kind of tight again. You know, we had kind of drifted apart there over the years. Typical Irish father-son stuff. So we got to be pretty tight. And we tease each other about our builds and stuff like that. And we talked about getting into a car and maybe building a hot rod. And he told me where he knew a few cars were. And, you know, shortly after, he got sick, and it just never happened, and now he's gone. So after he passed, I bought some cars and got into it, kind of, you know, as a salute to the old man. And I've been doing it ever since. And, you know, that was in, I guess, 2013, I guess. I really started getting into the cars. And, you know, I had a small business going, construction. I shut her down in 2017, beginning of the year, and been doing this full time ever since. So there you go. That's how Dirty Dan got into doing hot rods. All right, tack this in place. A lot of headbangers around here. So that's tacked in place, ready to put the muffler in place. And yeah, I'll just bring this thing down, and so we can get something underneath the muffler to kind of hold it in place, you know, because of the weight. Anyway, I'll come back when that's set up. Okay, so I have the muffler in place. You know, I use this little scissor jack motorcycle lift. These are the handiest damn things going, man. I'm telling you, I use it for everything. You can adjust doors, you can do, you know, ideal for stuff like this, because you can really fine tune the height. You know, you got a lot of adjustment there. So, you know, when they come on sale at Princess or wherever you buy your stuff, pick one of these things up. They're awesome. Anyway, so the muffler's in place. What I did was I lined it up so it'd be straight with the drive shaft. At first I had it lined up with the frame, but the frame tapers in, so I figured it would look better straight with the drive shaft. So it's ready to tack in. Then all I have to do after that is extend the back pipe past this cross member here and set up a couple of hangers. So what I'm using for hangers are these deals here. These are off of you know, Chevy Malibus, Pontiac Grand Prix, whatever. And I've got round bar that fits in these holes perfectly. So you have a chunk of round bar welded to the pipe, chunk of round bar coming off the cross member, and then you just slip these in and it holds it in place, and call it done. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and weld this in place and extend that back pipe, and cut a couple of pieces of round bar, bend them up, get them tacked on, and I'll show you what we got, and we'll finish this sucker off. Okay, so it's hanging on its own. Here's my hanger. This is what I did. I had two of these, so I cut one down, and then I welded the long part to the exhaust pipe. It's just tacked. Everything's just tacked. I got to finish cleaning it up and what have you. Maybe a gusset in here to make it good and solid. And then I had a piece that was already had a little knob on the end. It was welded onto one of the pipes I had. So I drilled a hole and slid it through there, welded it there, welded it to the frame. Like I say, I'll put a little gusset in here to fill it all in. But yeah, so I got to put another hanger similar over here. And this side is ready to haul off, finish weld, and paint. And then it's done. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And, you know, line up my mufflers so they're the same and same distance from the drive shaft, make it all pretty. And yeah, I'll call the exhaust done for now. Not only because I, you know, haven't got the tailpipe done, but I don't have enough pipe. So I'm gonna have to go scrounge around and get some 2 1/4 inch pipe, and with some bendies in it, so I can get around the rear axle and all that sort of stuff. So, but this is good enough to be able to fire it up. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. I like the height. I like how level it is, how straight it is, and I'm good with it. So there we go, exhaust. Shouldn't take me too long to get the other side done, because I've got all my measurements now, so I know where I'm at, and I just got to transfer everything over to the other side. Okay, so there we go. I'll get a good chunk of the other side done tonight. It's still fairly early yet. I'm just going to get this video into editing, and I'm going to carry on cutting some pipe and getting that thing lined up. So yeah, I should be done the exhaust as far as I'm going with it tomorrow. And then I got to get after the seat, because finalized all the details of the interior, picked the upholstery, got it ordered, matched up the interior paint, picked that up, or ordered it, I should say. Got a number for it anyway, get it mixed up. And yeah, so I got to get the seat. Basically all I have to do is figure out a way to fasten the springs to the seat frame, and then off it goes to the upholstery shop, and she takes it from there. So all good. And you know, I'll report as progress happens with the interior. Her name is Lynn. Her company is called Lynn's Bitchin' Stitchin'. So let's see how bitchin' Lynn Stitchin' is. So anyway, you know, getting back earlier to when I was talking about it or doing story time, you know, that those years from 13 to 17 years old, I'm gonna say, I spent a lot of time in the garage with the old man, and he taught me a ton. You know, I can't believe how much I remembered, because, you know, I mean, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I guess you remember what you want to remember. You know, and he taught me how to weld, and he was a very good instructor. He explained things and showed me what he was doing and how things work, and you know, he was always doing chalk diagrams on the floor and showing me what's what. And I remember all of it. all of it, and I use it every day. Amazing, really. You know, stuff from over 40 years ago. Very cool. Anyway, yeah, new subscribers, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And, you know, tell a chum. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And don't be afraid to leave comments down below. You know, if you think I'm doing a butcher job, or if you think it's going well, or you have suggestions or ideas, whatever. I'm into listening to all of it. And you know, it's getting close to the time where I'm going to have to start thinking about the next project, what I'm going to do. So I'll talk about that later in other videos after this one. And yeah, it's all good. You know, the weather's weird, man. It was like 6 degrees above zero 2 days ago, raining, and it's 28 below with the wind chill this morning. I don't know. It's up and down like a yo-yo. Anyhow, if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.